Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I am Shruti Agrawal, your host for today's session, brought to you by GeneCube, a platform dedicated to empowering startups through innovation, mentorship, and meaningful partnership. Our today's topic is building scalable and secure cloud infrastructure, which focuses on one of the most crucial foundations for any modern business. A strong cloud strategy enables startups to innovate faster, scale efficiently, cut costs, and most importantly, stay secure. We are delighted to have with us Dr. Mukesh Kumar Das, an accomplished IT leader with over 22 years of experience in managing complex IT environments and delivering strategic solutions. He has designed cloud migration strategies that reduce downtime and cost and implemented ITIL principles for streamlined service delivery. With deep expertise in AWS, AI, and automation, he is also the author of three accomplished books: AI, an in-depth introduction, cloud migration, and demystifying AWS. It's an honor to have uh, Dr. Mukesh Kumar Das with us. So without further ado, uh, let's get to you, sir, and hello again.
Hi, good afternoon and good evening, everyone. So, Shruti, thank you for so much for a very good introduction. Apart from that one, I also thankful to the GeneCube to provide me this opportunity to speak on this. So, without any delay, I would like to initiate this discussion on that one. The today's topic of this workshop is building scalable and secure cloud infrastructures. So, when we think about this topic, so what are the key point in here? We can find that scalable, secure, cloud and infrastructure. Suppose we are able to understand what is the scalable and secure and cloud and infrastructure, then we can find out what is this mean of this overall topic. So I would like to start with the infrastructures. So what is the infrastructure? So most of the people are aware about this normal infrastructure like building, roads, and all these things are infrastructures, right? So when we talk about the IT infrastructure, so we do have infrastructure pertaining to the information technology area also. And we can say that it is the collection of hardware, software, network, data storage, and facilities that organizers use to deliver IT services and run applications. So, in the scale, whatever the items which we need to run the IT services and application can be considered as a IT infrastructures. So, what are the key components? So, when we talk about the key component of IT infrastructure, so we can find out the hardware, we can find out the software, we can find the network, data storage, and facilities. So, we can say that compute, storage, networking, and database they are the key component specific to any IT infrastructures. And then finally, the physical area where we basically reside all these configuration item can be basically considered. So that is nothing but as facilities, which is the another important aspect in case of the IT infrastructures. So I hope this clarify what is the IT infrastructure as of now. Now let me move to our key buzzwords. So we basically discuss about we need to discuss about the cloud, scalable, and secure environment instead of and IT infrastructure on that one. So now moving to the next key component, that is the cloud computing. So what is the definition of the cloud computing? So cloud computing is delivering of the computer services like compute, storage, networking, and database via the internet, using the internet instead of using the local computer or data centers. So wherever the internet services are applicable, we and the accessing of that particular component like storage, networking, database can be considered as a computing. So another very simple example, cloud computing means using the internet to access and store data to run applications. Okay. And other key thing is that instead of keeping the everything on your own computer or servers. So what are the example? Very simple example. Your OneDrive, your Google Drive can be considered as a cloud computing because you are able to access this item by using the internet access. So I hope this is the cloud computing definition is clear as of now. Let's move to the next slide. This which is very important whenever I discuss about the cloud computing. So it is very important. Suppose you are able to remember this thumb rule which is known by the 3-4-5 principle. So what are the 3-4-5 principle in here? So when we talk about the three, it is basically three different service model. Those are available in the cloud computing, four different deployment models, and five characteristics. So when we talk about the three services model, so they are IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So we can say that infrastructure as services, platform as services, and software as services. Now moving to the deployment model, so we do have the four important deployment models: public, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community clouds. Apart from that one, well, how we basically we define that these are the cloud environment. So that basically we need to identify what are the key characteristics. These key characteristics is on-demand self-services, broad network resources, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measure services. When we talk about the rapid elasticity, is nothing but the scalability, right? So we'll discuss more on that one in the next slides. What are the five essential characteristics? Suppose I give the one component or combined environment, and basically I ask that whether it's the cloud environment. So then basically you need to check what are the key characteristics. So what are the key characteristics? First, on-demand self-services. So whenever I need some kind of these services, by using the on-demand, I can ask for that self-services. Suppose today I need the one server or storage, whatever I need. Actually, I immediately ask for that one. My cloud service provider are able to provide that immediately to me, and that basically known as the on-demand self-services. Broad network access. Every cloud environment need to have the very good network access in this. Resource pooling. Remember, whatever the resource are in there, they are basically shared. When I say the shared, what happened? Data center in the cloud environment, cage is there. There basically we kept the different cloud environment and cloud resources, might be CPU or storage. So here it is not like that it's dedicated to one particular customer. Anyone can go and access as per the applicability and provided by the your cloud service provider like AWS and Azure. Now moving to next characteristics, which is very important, and that is the rapid elasticities, which is also the scalability. So at any moment of the time, you can hire or you can remove the particular servers, number of servers. Think about the situation Diwali time, right? I need the 10 server to basically accommodate all from my workload. And then after that, I might have the five server is enough to manage that one. So what I will do during the time of the requirement, I will basically take this 10 server and pay for that one. And once my work is over, I will release the another pipe server, which basically a nothing but save the lots of money in here. Moving to the final major services, please remember all the activities, all the provisions of the server, storage, networking, database you are doing, that is the measured, right? Or you need to pay as a uses, right? It is available, and how much you are paying, you need to pay that one. Consider the example of the electric meter you are using in your home. Okay. So now we discuss about the 3, 4, 5 principles, right? Different characteristics, deployment model, and type of that one. So when we talk about the five characteristics, it is on demand, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measure services. And when we talk about the three services model, is basically IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And four deployment model is public, private, hybrid, and community clouds. So now three service models, right? So we do have a three service model: infrastructure as services, platform as services, and software as services. What are the IaaS, infrastructure as services? All of these computing resources like compute, storage, networking, they are come inside the infrastructure. So whatever the infrastructure which we discussed earlier, if you are using in the cloud environment, then that will be considered as IaaS. Now, next is the PaaS, which is nothing but platform as services. So we need to require some kind of the cloud environment where basically we can define, develop, and build our environment as well as run the environment. I hopefully everyone's known about the lab instance. It is nothing but Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So this is the one full environment is there. So I need such kind of the environment where I can basically develop and run my system. So which is nothing but PaaS, platform as services. Third one, this is SaaS, that is a software as services. Here, basically, only software is available where basically we can run our system on the software. So, what are the SaaS? So, your classical example in here is your Gmail, right? Using the cloud environment, internet access, you can use this one. OneDrive, right? Your Google Drive. These are the some example of the SaaS. When we talk about the PaaS, so we can have the AWS Beanstalks, okay, Azure App Services, and other Google Cloud App Engine. They are the some example of the PaaS. So, and when we talk about the IaaS, so you know that EC2, S3, these are the some environment which basically consider as a IaaS, infrastructure as services. Remember, EC2 means Elastic Cloud. It is basically virtual system available in the AWS cloud environment. Now, we did discuss about that one, what are the service model and other thing, attribute and applications, characteristics and everything. Now let's understand what are the deployment models, right? Where basically cloud can be work on that. So first or foremost is a public cloud. This kind of the cloud computing environment available for anyone. As the name suggests, is available for the publics. Okay, so Gmail is basically like that one example. It is available for anyone. Okay, so that is basically public cloud. Now coming to the next is the private cloud. Some organization doesn't want to their data to be shared, go outside, or anyone can access that one. So that is inherent into that particular organization only. That is basically known as the private cloud. Third one is the hybrid cloud. So when we use the hybrid cloud, it's nothing but the combination of public as well as the private cloud. Suppose you have the finance system, which is basically available in the your private cloud, and you have the your Gmail, which is available in the public cloud. So suppose your organization using this both of these facilities, then it basically nothing but hybrid cloud on that one. Fourth one is basically nothing but the community cloud. So what are the community cloud? Community cloud is basically think about the one particular community. They want to use the cloud like Oxford. For example, this Oxford University, they want to utilize the cloud environment. So that can be known as the community clouds. So we discuss about the public cloud, we discuss about the private cloud, we discuss about the hybrid cloud, as well as the community clouds. So hence, this basically complete the core principle of 3, 4, and 5 principle in here in the cloud computing. Okay. Now question comes, okay, this is the cloud computing. What are the benefits? Why I should use the cloud? Okay. One very important terminology, on-prem versus cloud, right? So earlier, 5, 10 years back, we can find out the one organization, they do have their own EDP or they do have their own MIS, management information systems. They basically that kept all their server, hardware, networking, storage, every devices inside of that particular MIS on that one. So that is basically known as the on-prem. So most of the on-prem, we do have the lots of cost associated that one. The capital cost is there. To reduce this capital cost, the cloud is there, right? Now let's understand what are the benefits. First and foremost, innovations. You can quickly find a new technology, and that for that you don't need to have any investment. For example, suppose I have one new Oracle database version is coming, right? For that one, basically I need to purchase in case of the on-prem. But in here, if cloud service provider, mostly they provide is available, we can immediately provision it and utilize that one. So that is nothing but the innovation. So many new server, so many new storage concepts, so many things are there, which is basically very relevant and new to the particular organization. Hence, basically, we achieve the innovation in here. Pay as you go. I think we already discussed about that one. See what happened in case of the on-prem environment or organization with sub environment, what we need to do, suppose I need the environment, so I need to purchase all the server, machine, everything on that one. So which is nothing but the lots of cost associated with your capital gain and your day to day. Also, this is the operation, so which is capex and opex, right? But in case of the cloud, you only need to pay day to day or usage scenario, not basically your capex in here. So that is the one biggest advantage and saving potential in here, which is pay as per you go. Flexibility. We do have the different services, right? I want to use the Oracle one database. I want to use the MySQL. I want to use the NoSQL. Depend. I want to use the server, memory based server. I want to use the storage based server. So everything is in my hand and in my reach, right? Accordingly, I can use that one. So this is the flexibility which is not mostly available in the on-prem. Once you purchase some kind of the software and hardware, you need to rely on that one. You can't change immediately because you already invest a lots of capital invested in here, right? So that flexibility is not there in their on-prem environment. Moving to next, which is another important factor, global access. Remember, this environment is available globally by the mean of the region, ability zone, and different access on. So cloud environment is available globally. Anyone can sit anywhere. You can access your content in here. So that is available in the globally, and which is one of the very important factor in here. So we discuss about the what are the benefits of the clouds. Okay, so which is basically innovations, pay as you go, flexibility, global access. So these are the some important factors or important benefit which we can derive from the cloud environment. Now come to the point. We discuss about the cloud computing. So now we need to understand what are the key provider as of now from the cloud computing perspectives, right? So we do have Amazon Web Services, AWS. We do have the Microsoft Azure, and we do have the Google Cloud. So and apart from that one, we do have the Alibaba and IBM Cloud. So there are some important cloud provider. Those are available by uh, you can using this cloud provider, you can provision or you can utilize that particular items into your day-to-day scenario or provision them, right? So the CEO of the Amazon Web Services, right, is Jeff Bezos, and mostly 31 third of the cloud market is captured by the Amazon. It was more, but now they are getting the competition, good competition from Azure and cloud, but still 1/3 market of the cloud is captured by the Amazon App of Services, and it is basically market leaders. And Microsoft Azure is basically the second one. And Satya Nadella is CEO of that one. And Google, we know the Sundar Pichai. So what are the important? Last two is basically nothing but the Indian CEO in there. Right. Let's move forward. Now, one thing is very important, right? We need to understand. We discuss about the cloud, and we discuss about the different provider, and we discuss about the what are the uh, market leader, which is nothing but the AWS. So I just want to focus on the AWS, and they are the global interest infrastructures, which is available all over the world. So you can see that 32 region is there, 102 ability zone is there, and different local zone and country wise is ability is there. So it is very difficult to you guys what is the reason, what is the ability zones. So please patience, I will explain what is the ability zone and reason in here. Reason, so what happened, regions are isolated from each other, and each region has its own power, cooling, and networking infrastructure. So each country is having some kind of the region, or some country does not. But in India, if we consider that one, so we do have the Mumbai and Hyderabad as a two different region on that one. Okay, so like worldwide also we do have the different region. Apart from that one, some have the restricted region also provided by the AWS, where the particular government organization only allow to work on that particular region. Like one is given to the USA, and other given by to the China on that. And India, again, I'm telling, there are the two reasons. One is known available in Mumbai, and other one is available in the Hyderabad. In reason, we do have the ability zone, which is nothing but the data centers, right? And these ability zones is basically available in the secure distance, right? In case if one ability zone is having some kind of the challenges, so we can immediately use the second ability zones. So that is basically benefit of the having the ability zone inside the region. So ability zone is nothing but the subset of the particular region. Edge locations, third one. What happened if you have the region are quite firm as compared to the end user? I'm sitting in the Bangalore, I'm trying to access some content. So it might be possible that will get some kind of the latency. I can get the some not proper the response time. So how to overcome that one? For that, edge location is there, and by using the edge location, you can reduce your performance and improve your performance and reduce latency on that one. Regional edge cage. Think about the Amazon, right? We are basically watching the Amazon and Netflix, right? So regional edge cage basically store your movie and ensure that you will get the faster servicing here. Next up, someone basically wants to know much about the AWS different global infrastructure. So use this link https://infrastructure.aws/. So this basically provide all the informations about the different re, uh, regions, ability zone, as well as the point of presence, cache, and original cache and everything. All the information, if someone interested to know more about that one, you can use this link and you can find that one. So I hope most you guys are having the clarity about what is the global infrastructure, what is the reason, and what is the ability zone. To give the more clarity about that one, so what is the reason? This is the one reason, which is basically Sydney, okay, and it is having the three different ability zone, which is nothing but the data center, and the reason name is Sydney underscore APA underscore southeast underscore 2. So the 2 is nothing but it might be possible that you are in Australia there might be more than one reason, right? But we have this one reason, no name by the Sydney AP Southeast icon 2 on that one. So instead of this particular reason, we have the three different ability zone or three different data center, namely AP Southeast underscore 2A, AP Southeast underscore 2B, and AP Southeast underscore 2C. Okay, these are the some who give the clarity about what is the region, what is the ability zone, so that you can have the clear understanding. So infrastructure, those are provided by the AWS. Same way it is provided by the Azure and Google, but somewhere the nomenclature is changed. So you need to understand. But concept-wise, they are same. You need to understand what is compute, storage, networking, and database for all. Now we discuss about that one for the informative point of view. I just create some quizzes, right? And you can refer that one, which is not for a service model in cloud computing, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. So we discuss all these three are is available. So D, data as service is not available. The correct answer is D is not available. Now, what is the main benefit of using the cloud computing? Increase security and control, greater cost effectiveness, reduce maintenance, and D, all of the above. So all of them is basically fall in the advantage of using the public cloud provider. What is the main drawback of using the cloud compared to the private cloud? So I think the security is the prime concern in here. So it might be the answer B, less control over security and data privacy. Now, question number 4, what is the term of automatically adjusting a number of resources in the cloud application based on the demand? So that is nothing but scalability. And here it is known as the auto scaling. Okay, please keep in the mind, load balancing is here to balance your workload. High availability, basically availability of your resources, and resource pooling is basically managing your resource in the share mode. Question number 5, which of the following is not a common security concern when using the cloud computing? Okay, so data breaches, compliance, and dependency automatically is a not a common security concern, but physical hardware failure is that? So answer is D. So now we discuss about the what is the cloud computing is different services model and other thing. So let's understand what are the building block, right, which is available in the cloud environment. So we can focus on different as I told you, AWS, Azure, and Google. So they are the different cloud provider, but we need to focus in one, okay, to understand more on this. So first, compute. Always remember compute, storage, networking, and database. These are the core component any cloud computing environment as well as the your traditional on-prem environment. Okay, so when we say the compute, it is nothing but is the traditional virtual server or server which is having the CPU and it is basically execute the all applications that run on top of that one, right? So you can have the different kind of instance. Suppose I have AWS, I want to basically provision the different kind of the compute environment. So there are the different kind of instances, right? Whether the memory based, whether it's the hardware based, general purpose, memory, storage, memory based. So there are the different kind of instances. As per your requirement, you can basically provision that particular instances. So these instances having the different kind of operating system, you can have the Linux operating system, you can have the Windows operating system. So as per your requirement, you can choose this one. And very importantly, again, the today's topic is cover scalability. That is the scale up, scale down as per your requirement, right? Now, this is a flexible, reachable, and compute. So I hope this compute concept is quite clear in here. Let's move to now storage. You have the environment, right, where you can basically run your applications. Now you need some kind of the environment where you can store the database. So for that one, we have the object storage, we have the block level storage, we have the database level storage, right? Object storage means file or backup can be stored. For Amazon, this is for services available in the Amazon S3. S3 signifies triple S, simple storage services. For your operating systems file or your other environment, you do have the Amazon EBS, Elastic Block Storage. This block storage for EC2 instances. Third one is RDS, which is nothing but database services provided by the Amazon, right? So this is managed relational database services. So when we talk about the storage, so we can talk about the object, we can talk about the block, we can talk about the block level storage, where we can store our data. So what kind of the data we can store? We can use files and backup for storage. We can use the operating system and we can use the database level storage in here. Networking, right? So I think we already discussed about the region and ability zones on that one, right? So that geographical location for AWS data center all over the world. And inside the region, we do have the different ability zone or independent data center. Apart from, please note, we do have the VPC, which is nothing but virtual private cloud, your private cloud network. So remember, reason and ability zone is physical in the nature, whereas VPC is basically logical in the nature. So you need to create VPC inside your cloud environment provisioned by the in the AWS or any cloud service provider environments. Again, I am telling reason and ability zone is basically a physical in the nature, whereas the VPC is logical in the nature. Databases, nothing but everyone know that one where we store the data. So they are the different kind of the data, relational database, non-relational database, cache-based database, and data warehousing. Okay. When we talk about the AWS with reference to that one, so AWS we do have MySQL, Postgres, Oracle SQL Server variant available in the Amazon RDS environment. Whereas DynamoDB is available as a Amazon environment which basically meet the NoSQL requirement in AWS. Elastic cache, this is the cache bus memory. When the performance is very important criteria, right? Then we can use the in memory elastic cache in here. Data warehousing. So that is the another important aspect in the database scenario where we have the largest data to be stored. Then we can use the Amazon Redshift from the AWS for data warehousing. So still, again, I'm repeating relational, non-relational, in-memory, and data warehousing. So these are the different database environment. For that, AWS provide Amazon RDS, DynamoDB, Elasticsearch, as well as Amazon Redshift. Now we discuss about the core component, right? We discuss about the compute, we discussed about the storage, we discuss about the networking, we discuss about the database. So another aspect which I can see that this is scalable and secure environment. How to provide the security, right? Proper security. So that for that we do have the two very important thing. One is the security group, and second is the NACL, network access control list, which basically help us to any unauthorized access to environment. Think about that. Your house is having the one primary key to open the main door lock, which is nothing but the security group. Secondly, NACL is basically inside your bedroom. You do have another key that is NACL basically help to meet that requirement. So, guys, we discuss about all these factors. Now, let's move to the third important factor, scalability. Right? What is the scalability and how they achieve? So, scalability is the ability of the system to handle increased load without performance issue. Okay. So, I think I already gave the example, right? Of the Diwali. We can take another example of Black Friday. We can another example of the Christmas times, right? So, when we have the workload is increased, so we need the more machine, right? Or your application need the more machine, so we can attach this kind of the machine, or we can basically remove when I don't need that one. Okay, so this is basically essential for model application that experience variable demands. Vertical scaling. So we discuss about the scalings, right? So we can add or we can remove, right, different requirement in the scaling. So what is the vertical scaling, right? Which is known as the scale up. Add more resources, CPU, RAM to existing server. So I have one particular CPU and service, very high end server on that one. Suppose I upgrade it to high end CPU or add the some kind of the RAM and all this thing to improve this performance, then it is basically known as the vertical. So as the name suggests, is basically improve in the verticality. And second is the horizontal scaling. Suppose I have 4 and 5 server is there. Okay, low end server is there. They are meeting my requirement, but future my requirement increase, then I can add the 3 for another server. So that kind of the concept is called the horizontal scaling. It is also called the scaling out. So I hope this terminology, vertical and horizontal scaling in scaling out, is clear to everyone. Load balancing. So when we work in the some particular environment, and so for example, think about one app, and that is the one very important financial app is there, and all over the world, why people are getting the accessing that one. So we do have the 5 or 10 server. Those are basically engaging to provide the support for load balancing. So load balancing is basically help to manage the work performance in such a way that it is distribute all the server or machine properly, so that one server does not have that too much load, so that performance can be suffered. It should be properly distribute among the all the machines or resources, and that can be achieved by the load balancer, and the whole the concept is known by the load balancing. Let's take the one real life income. I think I already discussed, but just for e-commerce site like Amazon or Flipkart handle the Black Friday festival sales on that one. So what auto scaling do? It will basically increase or decrease the performance at traffic spikes on that one. And what is that? Who is the happiest thing? That's the customer, right? He's not facing the any performance issues. I still remember whenever there is some important exam result declares when JEE, NET, and all these things, we can see that after some time, basically your server or there is no response. But that majorly nowadays, uh, the particular organization are overcome this situation by using this cloud kind of facility, by using the scale in facilities. So we discussed about the compute, we discussed about the scalability, we discussed the cloud computing is benefits. Another important aspect, as I told in our topic, is building infrastructure using scalable and secure cloud environment. So we discussed first three. Now another important, the security foundation. Most of the thought process is there, how secure is my data in the cloud. Suppose I am the person, I have the using the data, and all my data inside my permission, it is secure enough, right, to manage properly. But if it's not secure, then I have the problem, because this data can go anywhere, right? So how the security is available in the cloud, that is the important concept that we need to discuss on that, right? To security, cloud security is essential for protect sensitive data and maintain trust. Risk in data theft, downtime, financial. What happened in case of the suppose some basically theft my data? It might be downtime cause the downtimes, financial loss, airways the compliance violation here. So security is one of the very prime concept that need to be addressed when we basically think about the cloud. We need to check that what kind of the security mechanism which is provided by the cloud environment. Now it is come to the what are the responsibility model. I have the one organization, okay, and I have the some data which I basically I provision to my environment, right? So there are the two environment. One is my organization, and one basically I have taken from the my cloud provider. So we do have the some responsibility. So data and application which is available to me is my prime responsibility, but something which you basically provision from the cloud service provider, it is basically core responsibility of the AWS. So this slide basically talking about this one. Remember, whatever the day your data or your application, it is your prime responsibility for the safety point of security point of view, and from the AWS, whatever the provision, data provision from the AWS, it is the responsibility AWS. Apart from that one, you do have the data center, right? From where you're accessing the database, and the data center is nothing but AWS ability zones. So this is base security lies with the AWS. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Identity access management. So it's nothing but you do have the access, how to access your IAM, identify access manager, using the AWS environment. So you do have the user, you do have the multi-factor authentication, you do have the privileges, right? So when we basically try to access an environment, you must have the username and password. And apart from that one, these resources, everyone does not have the access for all kind of the facility of these resources. Some people does, some people have the some part of access for this one, and some people the full part of access that. So that how to manage, that is basically providing the privilege. Many factor authentication, that is basically two or multi-layer authentication is there. Nowadays, you, after giving the username password, you need to basically give the Google Authenticator password also. So that is basically coming the multi-factor authentication. It is widely usage practice all around the banking and everywhere nowadays. Network security, I talk about the security group and NECLs already on that one, and how to restrict this, and what is the HTTP and HTTPS. That is important. Hypertext protocol, hypertext transmit protocol in here, and HTTPS. So nowadays HTTPS is basically is not secure. Mostly people use the HTTPS, which is basically accessed by the port. So we do have the SSH protocol, we do have the HTTPS protocol. So port number for HTTP is 80, HTTP base port 43, or SSH is basically 22. So we can basically block this port and provide the port which anyone can access in here. And we can do this one in the AWS. Reliability and resilience, this is the important concept, right? Reliability is nothing but how the the ability of system to perform its intended function constitutive and corrective without failure. So without failure, right, how much my environment or how much my server is working or how much my data disk is working. So AWS most of the time it is having the 99% reliability in here. Okay. Resilience, suppose something has happened, how fast I can recover that one. That is the resilience in here. So reliability and resilience. Okay, this is the very important question. Suppose something is happened, how fast I am recover. That is also we need to see that. Downtime example, right? Suppose I have the one website, downtime can cost massive. Airline agency is there, right? They do have the application which is basically running. If any case, if anything is happened, so this website down got down in that case. So what happened? All my ticketing cells and everything is basically create the problem. We cannot book the ticket, we cannot take the flight. So this already happened a multiple time in here. So that basically we need to very careful. So I still remember that one scenario where the Microsoft Azure was the uh, cloud service provider, and that caused this kind of the problems. Backups. So backup is another important concept. How you basically backup day to day, what kind of the tool you can use, that basically we need to consider. Disaster recovery. I think this I need to give some time. What is the disaster recovery? Okay, so some everyone knows that if some kind of the flood, if some kind of the natural disaster, cyber attack, and some outages happened, right? That is nothing but comes the disaster recovery. So how fast basically we can recover? So there are the four different strategy. Um, Number one is the pilot light, number two the warm standby, then the multi-site and active fourth one. So depend upon the your costing paper, you can adopt the different strategy. The pilot light is basically take much time to recover. Warm standby is second, multi-site is third. Active is always available. There will be no downtime in case of the active. But remember, it will basically cost you. In case of the pilot, you take the backup in the physical mode, keep it somewhere else. In case of some disaster happen, immediately upload that into the your environment. Warm standby in the you do have the two kind of server, primary and backup server. Primary is having the all the server running, and now the where's the standby is only having the important applications. In case something has happened, you can basically switch over to warm standby mode and upload the others. Multi-site available in the different site. It will basically switch over in the faster manner, but need some kind of the time. So depend on your business and cost consideration, you can select anyone. Automation and infrastructure as code, that's an important aspect. So we already discussed most of the thing about the scalable and cloud environment as well security infrastructure. Just for your knowledge purpose, this automation. So infrastructure as code. Suppose you have some environment in New York and you want to basically transfer all this environment right from New York to Mumbai, then it is very difficult, right? So all the hardware you can't transfer from here and there. So that basically you can do it by using the some coding manner. You write some infrastructure code in AWS Cloud Formation as well as the Terraform, the software you can use, and you can kept it, transfer it, and you can run that particular environment in your Mumbai, and that basically automatically provision the environment in Mumbai itself. So that so lots of timing and other factors. Monitoring and cost awareness. So I do have this much big environment and all these things. So how to monitor and all, that is the consideration. So AWS is having the monitoring, which ensure that applications are healthy and performing well, and detect any kind of the failure and measure it how it is going on, what is going on. See, normal classical this example we talk about the CPU utilization is 100%, right? So this alert mechanism is there. Automatically mail will to come or the pop-up will become, and that basically you can manage in here. The tool basically collect metrics, log, and event from AWS resources. You can build a dashboard on that one, which basically available for everyone. You can basically check and then immediately take the action on that one. I'll let we discuss on that, right? Cost monitoring. Another important access. We have taken the AWS environment. Most of the time, we are not able to track the cost. Anyone can go basically and provision the software. So that basically costs lots of things. So you need to basically very careful to utilization on that one. AWS is basically provide the AWS cost explorer to manage that effective and efficient manner. So thank you guys. So thank you so much for your time. So you appreciate that one. If someone knows want to more information, then you can refer these books available in the right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir,
Mhm.
for this insightful and practical session. You have literally shown us that cloud infrastructure is more than just technology. It's about creating a secure, scalable, reliable backbone that fuels business growth. So, on behalf of GeneCube and everyone here, we sincerely thank you for sharing your wisdom and actionable strategies. We look forward to hosting you again for more such insightful sessions. Thank you so much, sir.
Hey, thank you, Sita. Thanks, Cube. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.
Have a nice day, sir.